And then at some point you grew a bunch of social media followers. Tell me about that journey.
Yeah. So, we have our rentals, we have the flipping company, and then Lucas and I are, part owners in both of those. And then we were both running the flipping company. It was we weren't tapping into our full potential. So it was kind of like a divide and conquer thing. Education's obviously a great space to get into if you know what you're talking about. So Lucas ran the flipping company, Faster House, and the farther I get away from that company, the more money they make. So I'm good with that. So we were both running it together. So he's crushing it. They're record-breaking months every month. And then, I started growing a social media following just because I just wanted to do education and grow a brand. That's all I really knew. Kind of started to just build the following, just posting about what we're doing, because there's unfortunately people that have done 2 BRRRR deals and sell a BRRRR course, and there's things like that. So there's all that stuff out there, and we're
not calling out any names.
No names. We'll do it after. But there was so many people in that space that had done, and I don't feel like I'm very braggy or cocky at all. They had done like 10% what I'd done, and they were selling all these courses and doing all this stuff. So it felt like a good space to get into if I was going to be actively investing. And so that's what we kind of did. And not like good as some of the people we talked about earlier, social media. I just post about what I do and try to be authentic, and it seems to catch on at times for sure.
So social media was kind of a means to an end, a strategy.
100%.
All right. So Eric Brewer and I are going to be presenting in a few weeks, talking about the importance of social media. So how about instead of me doing the presentation, why don't you just tell everyone?
Let's do it. You got the notes in the back to take. So growing a brand is everything. I didn't realize this until I started to get into it, but you used to have a camera and a TV station to grow a brand and become famous. The Kardashians are the perfect first example. They don't do anything except live their daily lives, but they have cameras in front of it. Now they're uber famous. You can do it now, though, with your phone. So having a brand is never going to be a bad thing. I'm speaking to the choir with you, but the more eyeballs you have, the more influence you'll have, and therefore the more money you'll make. And it just opens up so many possibilities. I'm sure you get it too. I get 3 or 4 different brands a week reaching out for me to do some type of paid advertising on TikTok or Instagram. And just having that following is only going to get more and more important. Directors are hiring actors. They're quoted hiring actors with bigger social media followings over their acting skills, because just having that brand is so important, and it's just going to get more and more important going forward. So I behind that for sure.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of what was fascinating, like The Rock, right? Like, he's not to take anything away from him as an actor, but he said, I want to be the highest paid male actor. How am I going to do this? I'm going to have the most Instagram followers. And he actively just pursued building out his Instagram, and now he's the highest paid male actor.
Yeah, I love him, but he's not the most talented actor. I mean, I think he's pretty talented he plays his role well. He's not like he's a horrible actor, but
right.
Yeah, you're right, 100%. So it's just growing that brand is going to, I think it's going to be more and more apparent going forward and more important.
So why did you start with TikTok?
Because I was wanting to grow my YouTube. My YouTube, starting a YouTube channel is really hard at first. Even if you kind of got really cool stuff to talk about, it's just really hard with, it's just such a saturated space. The entire reason I started Instagram was to push people to YouTube. I think I started YouTube in like February, March of 2020, and it was slow going. It was doing okay. So then come summer, June, July of 2020, I started TikTok, and a little bit easier, not saturated space. You can do a video quickly. You don't need to edit it as much. It's just much easier to do. And it just kind of started to gain traction and kind of really, really start to blow up. And then I started Instagram. So now I'm kind of juggling all three. Yeah. All three of their space. But
any tips for someone that's, they're watching this right now and they're like, well, okay, I need to get, you got 1.2, 1.3, where are you at now?
We're about 2,000 away from 1.2. I just looked, so we're close to be, maybe be 1.2 by the time I pick my phone up, but right at that 1.2, yeah.
Yeah, so 1.2. So any recommendations for someone right now that they want to start the TikTok path? What would you recommend?
Do it, because it's going to be weird. I still don't love it all the time. Nobody believes me. I don't love having a camera in my face all the time, but just do it, and it's going to be weird. It's going to be uncomfortable. Your first 10 videos are going to suck. No one's going to watch them. But this smart Asian man who doesn't have much of a jumper told me one time that if it sucks, nobody watches it. So who cares, right? So
don't worry about your feelings, because no one cares. Yeah, no one's watching it,
and no one's watching it. It's got 100 views, so only 100 people saw that it was not good. The other, all the people didn't see it. So just do it, and then tactical things are just, you got to get their attention right away. I would do shorter videos at first. Like some of my bigger ones are 30, 40 seconds, but for my first 50 videos, if I went back, I would make them 20 seconds or less and just try to get people's attention right away, and then just play with stuff. They're not all of them are gonna blow up. Just do it. And what I did was, everybody made fun of me for doing TikTok, because they're like, especially back then. Now it's definitely become a little more mainstream. But I said, I'm gonna make one video a day for 30 days, and then if it does well, I'm gonna keep going. If it does, I'm gonna stop it. And then I think my 5th video got like 100,000 views, which was insane for me, because my YouTubes were getting 80 views, 100 views. So I get their short views, but they're still views. So kind of got me hooked then.